As an old player who is returning to the game, I've been on a journey relearning this game and learning about cards that I have not ever seen. I started playing around that, or I stopped playing around the hat format around when Lynx came out. That was when I kind of took off from the game. So today we're going to be talking about the Toon archetype. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. So I am of course familiar with all of these old Toon cards, but there were some names that I'm not familiar with. I tried so hard when I was a kid to make the Toon deck work, and unfortunately it never did end up working. I know like support came out with like Toon Kingdom, but I don't even remember what Toon Kingdom does, so we're going to be reacting to all of the cards because if you're like me, then you just like hearing about cards. So this is how we're going to do things. Of course, we have the Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing 2 monsters. While you control Toon World, cannot attack the turn it is special summon. You must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with this monster. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can attack your opponent directly unless they control a Toon monster, in which case this must target a Toon monster for its attacks. The thing is it's not good enough by today's standards to really use it. There's too much work to, make this Blue Eyes Toon Dragon work, but I've always found the Toon deck a little fascinating. You take a bunch of fan favorite monsters and then just make a cartoon out of them. We also have Manga Ryu Rin. I forgot about this card, man. That is an old card. This card is always treated as a Toon card. I always wondered why it didn't just say Toon. Anyways, must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing 2 monsters while you control Toon World. It cannot attack the turn it is special summoned. You must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with this monster. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can attack your opponent directly unless they control 2 monsters. So it doesn't have another effect besides, hey, there's a cost here. You need to tribute 2 monsters and you need to have Toon World on the field. The direct attack isn't worth all of that. So again, another card that's not all that great in my opinion, but let's continue on over to the next card to Red Eyes Toon Dragon. For some reason, I don't really remember this one, but I think it's been around, okay? Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. Why is that the problem with all of the Red Eyes all of the Toon cards? While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 Toon monster from your hand, except Red Eyes Toon Dragon, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay. Ignoring the summoning conditions is pretty cool. So you can basically get any Toon monster in the field. This is where the Toon monsters thrive a little bit when they actually have effects like that. But still, there's no reason for it to not be able to attack. Of course, we have Toon Alligator, which is just the normal monster. And I don't even remember Pegasus using this card, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure if it's part of the archetype. But let's continue on over to Toon Ancient Gear Golem. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. If this card attacks a defense position monster and inflict piercing damage to your opponent, if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate a spell or traps until the end of the damage step. So, very similar to Ancient Gear Golem, except you can get a direct attack with it. It does well for the Toon cards, and it's okay. I like the fact that at least you don't have to pay 500 life points to even declare an attack. Let's keep going to Toon Barrel Dragon. I think I remember this one as well. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you can target 1 card on the field, toss a coin 3 times, and destroy it if at least 2 of the results are heads. I think that's the same effect as Barrel Dragon, and I guess the Toon effect is only really changing, like, hey, this card can attack your opponent directly, and we need Toon World on the field. Oh, you know what I just noticed is this and Ancient Gear Golem don't get destroyed if Toon World's not on the field. Yeah, that was another ridiculous thing about the Toon monsters, too, is you needed Toon World to stay on the field. That's why it never worked with growing up when I tried to make this deck, man. And now, like, of course, it never had this support. We also have Toon Blackluster Soldier. It's a weird-looking card for a Toon one. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing 2 monsters from your hand or field. Okay. That is a different way to handle it. I don't know if I've seen this card before. Tributing 2 monsters from your hand or field whose totals level equal to 8 or more. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, if you control Toon World, you can target 1 card on the field and banish it. That's pretty cool, and it can't attack the turn that this effect is activated. But the problem is, it's even difficult to summon because I get that you contribute cards from your hand, but you're still going minus through all of it. But then again, it is a good card. You get to banish, and it's not even just a monster spell or trap. You get to flat out banish a card each turn. You can still attack directly. I think it's a good card. It depends how much draw power this deck ends up having, because I know there's some spell and traps that we're going to take a look at. We also have Toon Buster Blader. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. Gains 500 attack for each dragon monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. So it's taking a different kind of spin on Buster Blader, and it's putting it on the number of dragons your opponent has. Could you imagine using DNA surgery or something like that just for the sake of that? We also have Toon Cannon Soldier. This one I do remember. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. If Toon World is on the field, is destroyed, destroy this card. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. You contribute 1 monster, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. I don't remember when this came out, but I feel like, or maybe it was in the anime show. Because I think I remember thinking that this card was good, or maybe it's because like it's been so long and I'm misremembering Toon Cannon Soldier for a different effect. But it's okay. It's just a flat out okay card. Let's go over to Toon Cyber Dragon. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, it can attack your opponent directly. So it's another one of those things that's just flat out Cyber Dragon. There's a lot of cards that we've been talking about that's literally just, hey, you need Toon World on the field, and this card can attack directly, but it's the same card. We also have Toon Dark Magician. I feel like I've seen this one, but these Toon cards have been slipping my mind, man, okay? Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. Once per turn, you can discard 1 Toon card and then activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 Toon monster from your deck, except Toon Dark Magician, ignoring its summoning conditions. Add 1 Toon spell and trap card from your hand. I think this is an excellent card. So far, what we've taken a look at, this is the best. And you know what's shocking? Is you have this archetype of Toon cards where it's a bunch of the fan favorite monsters, but just made to be Toon. And they've never done Dark Magician until like whenever this card came out. Because I know this wasn't part of the game back in the day. Why did it take so long to add Dark Magician? But yeah, that is a very, very good card. You can literally summon any Toon card or search out any Toon card that you want. We also have Toon Dark Magician Girl. Oh, that's probably why, because we have Toon Dark Magician Girl. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by attributing 1 monster. While you control Toon World, if Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can attack your opponent directly unless they control a Toon monster, in which case, this card must target a Toon monster for its attacks. Gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in either player's graveyard. This card's garbage. Like, why would you even include this in a spellcaster deck that has like the Dark Magician archetype into it? There's no reason, unless like there's Toon cards out there that like really, really happen to work. This is one of the worst cards that we've taken a look at so far. Back in the OG days, though, we have Toon Gemini Elf. I don't remember what deck it was, but I remember Pegasus giving somebody some issues with this card. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. I remember people just using this in their decks because of the battle damage and discarding 1 random card from your opponent's hand. I think that's like a very, very underrated effect, especially for back in the day. This is one of those cards that you can kind of just like fit in any deck. I like Toon Gemini Elf. In my opinion, so far, besides Dark Magician, this is the greatest Toon card that we've taken a look at. We also have Toon Goblin Attack Force. Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase, and this battle position cannot be changed until the end phase of your next turn. This card is also horrible. So you use the attack, it's 2300 attack, I get that it's a 4-star, but then not only do you have to switch it to defense, but you can't use it the following turn. It has 0 defense points, and this card, unless you have some crazy back row, this card is going, and it's not worth waiting as long as 2 turns to be able to use it again. I didn't know they made a Toon Harpy Lady. This is interesting, okay? Cannot attack the... You know what else I forgot? It has its own little thing like tuners. This is a Toon card. It's weird how that works, eh? Cannot attack the turn it is summoned. If you control Toon World, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then, if you control another Toon monster, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. You can only use this effect to Toon Harpy Lady once per turn. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack directly. It's okay. I like you can normal summon it, and you can also special summon it if you have another Toon monster. You can just destroy a card. It's okay. I would like it if it was it had a little bit better attacks. We also have Toon Masked Sorcerer. I remember this one. Cannot attack the turn that it is summoned. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, draw 1 card. That's probably why it is. Dude, that's actually like flat out another underrated card. This and Gemini Elf, you can like just squeeze into a deck. Because if you have a card, like back in the day, I'm a big fan of using things like United We Stand, Mage Power. Boost the attack points on this thing, keep attacking per turn, and keep drawing cards. I think this is another one of those cards that's actually very, very good, okay? Old card over here. We have an old card in Toon Mermaid. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand while you control Toon World. Cannot attack the turn it is special summoned. You must pay 500 life points and declare an attack with this monster. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can attack your opponent directly unless it controls Toon Monster, in which case, this card must target a Toon Monster for its attacks. Another garbage card. Man, this is bad even back in the day. Oh, 1400 monster can attack directly, but not even the turn that it's summoned. Awful. Awful. We also have Toon Summoned Skull. This card is always treated as an Archfiend card. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by tributing one monster. While you control Toon World, cannot attack the turn it is special summoned. You must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with this monster. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can't attack your opponent directly unless it controls Toon Monster, in which case, you must target a Toon Monster for its attacks. Dude, why is all of that part of these Toon cards? As if you're ever going to run into another mirror match. Like, nobody plays Toons as it is. Nobody has ever played Toons. You think you're going to run into, like, a mirror match? That was just, it's so unnecessary. These cards suck enough. Like, this card's not good either. You have to tribute a monster. You have to pay 500 life points. You can't attack the turn of the summon. Who was thinking about these cards? This is definitely a card that I've never seen in Shadow Toon. If you control Toon World, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the face-up monster. It's actually a good card. I like that. I like that. And I would imagine there's more cards that's going to be easier to get Toon Kingdom out to the field. So assuming that Toon Kingdom's easy to get out to the field, then some of these cards are a little bit stronger. I actually like Shadow Toon a lot. I like that card. Dude, especially with all of the cards that are like 3,000, 4,000 attack now. We also have Toon Bookmark. I kind of like that. That's a cool artwork for the card. Add one Toon World or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except Toon Bookmark. If a Toon World or Worlds would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I like that. It's a search effect and it protects your Toon World. Very good card. Very, very strong. Very good card for the archetype. We also have Toon Briefcase. When your opponent summons a monster or monsters while you control Toon Monster. Oh, I remember this card. You shuffle it into the deck. And I'm a big fan of shuffling things back to the deck instead of just popping back to the hand, instead of destroying them, instead of banishing. I like, get it completely out of here, back in the deck. We also have a continuous trap card in Toon Defense. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, targeting a face-up level 4 or lower Toon monster you control, you can make that a direct attack instead. I like the fact that it's a continuous trap, but I don't know if you would want to continuously just have your opponent attacking directly. I get that it protects your monsters, and I'm sure it's great in certain situations. That's an interesting one. It's interesting. It's an interesting play on the whole Toon thing about attacking directly. I don't know about this one. This one would require some play to see if it's helpful or not, in my opinion. Now, of course, we have Toon Kingdom. This is the card that I am familiar with. It's a field spell for the Toons. When this card is activated, banish 3 cards from the top of your deck face down. This card's name becomes Toon World while it's in the field zone. Your opponent cannot target Toon monsters you control with card effects. If a Toon monster or monsters you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 card from the top of your deck face down for each of those monster or monsters instead. This is an excellent card, so much better than Toon World, and it has a protection effect built into it. This is one of, if not the best card in the entire Toon archetype. I think it is a really, really good card. Continuing on, Toon Mask. If you control Toon World, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Special summon one Toon monster from your hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the level of rank of that monster, ignoring its summoning conditions. I don't mind that. I'm sure you can just get pretty well any Toon that you want. Is at the very least, you can get like a level 4 Toon out there. What's Toon Dark Magician? Probably level 7? It's possible. I don't know about this one. That one would also require some play, in my opinion. We also have a quick play spell that I've never seen before. Toon Page Flip. If you control Toon World, reveal 3 Toon monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you and special summon, ignoring its summoning conditions. Also shuffle the rest in your deck. You can only activate once per turn. This is another great card. What if you just pick 3 of the same monster? 3 Dark Magicians, please. I will take that. That is another really good card. And I like the fact for this artwork, it's... Dude, that's cool. You're flipping the page from regular Toon World into Toon Kingdom. Very cool. I like that one a lot. We also have Toon Rollback. Target one Toon monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase's turn. I'm sure it's good in situations, but I'm not sure that that's one that I would use. It seems like it could clutter up the deck a little bit. We also have Toon Table of Contents. Add 1 Toon card from your deck to your hand. Not 1 Toon monster, Toon card. So this, along with Terraforming, is extremely helpful into getting your Toon Kingdom. So I think that's another really, really good card. We also have a Counter Trap. Toon Terror. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, while you control both Toon World and Toon monsters, negate the activation if you do destroy this card. You can only activate one per turn. That's an amazing card. This throws some Solemn Judgments into the deck. I think that's a great card. I've realized that this deck can be very, very, very strong once you get Toon Kingdom onto the field, but the problem is you're very reliant on that Toon Kingdom. So I guess it's something that you have to like get going pretty early. Other than that, I can see the deck like losing games very, very quickly. And of course, we also have Toon World, one of the worst spell cards, continuous spell cards in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! You need this card to have your mediocre Toon effects. Let's continue on over to the next card, over to Comic Hand. I feel like I remember this card being banned or something, or limited. Could be wrong. If you control Toon World, equip to an opponent's monster, take control of it. It is treated as a Toon monster. If your opponent controls no Toon monsters that can attack your opponent directly, if Toon World's not on the field, destroy this card. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about. There's no reason for that card to be banned, so obviously, I am remembering the wrong card. Maybe it was another card. Actually, I have a memory of another card that had kind of like a spring hand like this, but I don't remember what it was. It was a trap card. Maybe that was what I was thinking about. Regardless, I mean, it's good for the Toon deck. That's something that I would use, but I don't know. I might just use Creature Swap. We also have Mimicat. If you control Toon World and a Toon monster, target one card in your opponent's graveyard. If it is a monster, special summon it to your field. If it's a spell or trap, set it to your field. Great card. I'm a big fan of using your opponent's cards. I think it adds some fun to the games. Like I just said, Creature Swap, Enemy Controller. Those are my types of cards. Goyo Guardian, I love. I would absolutely be using this card, even if it's like not the greatest card in the world. I love that. I love that. And I remember that in the anime show too, man. Really cool. Shine Palace. I guess this technically is a Toon card. Equip only to a light monster, gains 700 attack. Yeah, why does it have Toon World there? It has nothing to do with the Toon effect. But speaking of Toon effects, why don't you check out another Learning Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Video that we uploaded in the Yubel archetype, the brand new cards for Yubel. I didn't know they made them, so you can check it out right here if you're interested. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Take care, everybody.